already warned this thing. I said, Scott's on his way, so stop acting and better act evil like you've been.
It won't.
Of course it won't. I'm just gonna pray that it does.
This one looks a lot like the original one. The other one didn't. That Empire one we kept trying to get, all those ones that were smashed, it was white. It wasn't even the same color.
Well,
You'd think that company would just, I mean, if all the ones that we got were smashed, then all the ones they sell must have been smashed. Like, how many are you guys going to get back before you change your shipping practices?
that's crazy to me. I couldn't believe that. I thought, wow, that's like...
Well, we just looked at it and we're like, I'm not ordering another one of these. I can see it's just very poorly packaged. And I am, this is actually from a different company. That was from Granger Supply. National, I'm done dealing with them.
Are you?
Because of what happened with you. I'll never deal with that.
I don't blame you.
That noise?
Okay.
It's just expansion and contraction.
Hold on. That's where it's going to go. I find it hard to believe that people would put up with... This is actually mild compared to what it's been, but... I don't know.
So once it reaches this point, it's maintaining temperature. That's why it stops making that noise. It's the expansion and contraction from it heating up.
I just find that hard to believe that people would tolerate that. This first 2 days it didn't do that. And now all of a sudden it's like it's okay. I'm like, well, if it would have done that from the beginning, I wouldn't question it.
I will take this video and I will send it to the factory and verify it with them. That sounds the same as most of the ones that I put in. Usually these aren't freestanding, they're wall mounted, but there's the same basic idea.
Would that make a difference?
No, it's just the style of unit. Like they mount to the wall and then the exhaust goes out the back of them. There's just a few different styles that they make.
I see.
So you don't have a basement then, do you?
I have a crawl space.
That's weird. So these homes are all built from the outside. It looks built as all the others. It looks the same as all the other street homes on the street. And I've done a bunch of these in this area. And there's grade of development here. And every one of them has a basement.
Well, this house probably precedes most of them.
Yeah, obviously, right? The thermostats, unfortunately, are designed to not raise in temperature very fast.
Right.
So when it's already getting pretty warm in here from the heat from this thing.
It stays warm in here only though.
Well,
Because I've
yeah.
noticed I've had to use,
Well, that's just the design of the house. But the thermostats are designed to only change temperature so fast so that if you have a bunch of people over and somebody stands next to it, they don't heat up the thermostat. You'd be blown away how much that actually. I mean, you're at 98 degrees, right? So if you like leaned on the wall and leaned on that thing, oh, it would go up through the roof.
Gotcha.
Like when I take them out of my truck, and I have to. What I need to do is I take the base off and I set it on the table, then I don't touch it. Because then I mount it. If I like hold it in my hand and then put it on there, it'll stay like 95 degrees because it was in my hand. And then I have to wait forever for it to cool back down.
Gotcha. Crazy that they're that touchy.
I mean, I understand why they do it, but when I was a kid, I'm like, why is it doing that? And I figured that out. I'm like, oh, that actually makes sense.
I mean, it does, but you would think that there would be like some kind of like protection so that the heat of your hand wouldn't drive it up like that.
Well, it's just a heat sensor.
Yeah, that's true.
The worst is like when they're sitting in the truck at like -6, and I go grab one to put it in. I gotta wait 20 minutes for it to warm up.
I believe it. I believe it. This winter has been particularly hard.
You know, I don't really think it has been that. I think it's normal. I think we've had like 5 or 6 kind of whippy winters, and we kind of got used to them because, I mean, realistically, this is pretty much what I grew up with. You know, we had one day or a couple days where it was, 5 or below degrees. Besides that, it's just pretty much been cold the whole time. And when I was a kid, my dad was big into snowmobiling. We used to do it a lot. And the snow would hit around Thanksgiving, and it would pretty much stay till March. And so actually, I just think we've had so many wimpy winters, we kind of got used to those 40, 50 degree ones.
Maybe. then my question to you is, if you're only going up and down a couple of degrees, that banging between, is that big of a difference?
I mean,
So if we're going with expansion and contraction of metal, cooling down by a degree or two is gonna do that?
no,
What if-
no, it's not. That thing is like 500 degrees. It'll burn the heck out of it if you touch it. It's the heat exchanger on the inside that you're hearing. The thing that the fire's burning on the inside of.
Okay.
It's not. It's heating up 500 degrees. It's not heating up 1 degree.
Okay. Well, I guess, so like on my side, I'm looking at this thing, it goes down to like 74 or 75, and it kicks back on again, and it's, I don't know, I mean, I get it, like, I don't know.
Well, every time the heater turns on, it heats up to like 400 or 500 degrees.
Okay. But there isn't that, I don't know, I guess there's just, to me, there doesn't seem to be that much time difference, but, I mean, like, what, I guess, I don't know. I don't know enough about this stuff, so. That was another thing I was hearing, and I wasn't sure if that was like, that was not, I didn't think that was like normal, but.
Yeah, that is. It's just that fan changing as the thing cools down. That thing changes shape quite a bit when it heats up, just from the expansion and contraction. That's normal. Like when you bring your car home, and especially in the winter when it's cold and you get out and you hear all this tick, 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 tick coming from under your hood. I mean, this heats up a lot faster than a car does. So.
I even thought, well, maybe the extra elbow was causing an issue, but then I don't know.
Oh no. So there's switches, there's safety switches on these things that if they didn't vent correctly, it would turn itself off.
Yeah.
It wouldn't even run.
Well,
And they put those on there too. Like I was at one today in Berea. A squirrel fell down the chimney. Stuck in the flue pipe. It happens. And that's one of the reasons why that safety switch is there. So it just shuts the whole thing off. So if there's improper venting, that's kind of stuff used to kill people back in the day.
yeah,
Yeah, you get back in the day, you hear stories. A raccoon comes down the chimney,
yeah,
everybody in the house dies.
yeah.
And they put a pretty safe, pretty simple switch on these things to make that not happen anymore.
Well, hallelujah for that. Plus, I also had a cage up there.
Right. So you should be okay
Which
in that department
I didn't
anyway.
have before, but I do now.
You know how many times I've cleaned birds out of these things?
Oh, that I believe.
Oh, and most furnaces have a fan on that exhaust, and they get jammed in that fan. Oh yeah, it's pretty horrible. I've probably 80 or 90 over my years. I pulled a squirrel out of one once.
Oh,
That was unbelievable. I pulled the flue pipe off. I'm like, what is that? And it was brown. I'm like, that's a squirrel. And it was a full size. It wasn't like a baby. It was a full size. They sit on the chimney because it's warm. Well, they're sitting up there huffing carbon monoxide fumes, and they pass out, and they fall down in the chimney. And then they wake up. See, anywhere from there down is fresh air, because that's going up. So then they wake up at the bottom. What happened? And they bang around and bang around and bang around. Go, hey, there's a way out. And they go right down there. Yeah, it sucks. I absolutely hate doing it. It can be pretty disgusting at times too. I'll be honest with you. I carry alcohol wipes and all kinds of stuff like that in my truck.
I wouldn't
Yeah,
either.
it's gross.
I wouldn't either.
There's a wheel on the outside of them that bounces, and you can grab it and turn it. And very often they're stuck, and the bearings go bad, and they just burn up, and they go and humming. And if the bearing's stuck, it just doesn't turn. But you go, you're like, oh no, I know what that is. And I got a special pair of needle nose that have like 3 joints that are like this long. So when you squeeze the end, like the pit at the end is almost a foot away, and so I can reach down and pull things out. Yeah, it sucks.
That would be gross.
It's horrible. I just feel bad about it too. Like you didn't do anything wrong. You're just sitting up because it's warm.
didn't know any better.
I know. Dude, I don't even kill bugs, man. I don't kill bugs. I don't.
Well, I try not to too.
If there's like a tarantula or something like that, yeah, that thing's going down, right? If it can harm me,
Well,
that's one thing, but.
if it's predatory in
Oh, yeah.
nature, you think, well, maybe I need to get rid of this because it's safe. safe, but usually I run the other way.
Unfortunately, with spiders, you got to pick spiders or all other bugs. If you let the spiders stay, they eat the other bugs, then you have less other bugs. So
Yeah.
there was this one guy where we let our dogs out, the door we let our dogs out. There was a spider that, like the last 3 winters, he's built his nest right by this light that we turn on every time, and he's smart. He knows if that light gets turned on a few times a day, and all the moths are like, "Hey, there's light," and they fly over to it. Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
Smart.
Yep. Every once in a while, some big wind gust comes by, and you see it's all gone. And one day they'll put it all back.
They're pretty when they get a little bit wet. You know, like the
especially when the snow freezes to them.
And stuff. They're pretty.
Yeah.
And you just think, wow, you did all that.
Nothing's more impressive than a beaver dam.
Oh God, yeah.
That's unreal. I mean, the work that is.
Yeah, 100%.
It's the only other animal besides us that changes its surrounding. All other animals, you can have like bird nests and stuff like that, but beaver dams are not just homes. They do that to jam up fish, to do other things. It's only us and beavers change our surroundings to make it easier for us to live.
Really?
Yeah, there's no other animal in the world that does that.
Huh. I didn't know.
They just deal with what they got. Beavers are like, nope, I don't like this.
Well,
We're changing stuff.
I'm gonna move things around here so I can have dinner.
Yeah.
I gotcha. Wow. It's pretty crazy. Did you set this for 78?
No, but see, that's the problem, right? Is that because I remember that the thermostat reacts slowly. I set it for 76, but it's probably 78 in here.
Well, that's what it's saying.
It says 76 though, right?
Well,
But it's 78 in the room.
that says 76, that says 78.
Right. Because the thermostat responds slowly. By the time it started to respond to the 1 degree I turned it up, it had heated up 3 degrees in the room.
Oh, gotcha, okay.
Come on, fan.
And that video you're taking is probably going to be like ginormo.
Yeah, this is gonna. I can't. I'll just have to. I can't send this to anybody. I'll post it to YouTube and then I'll just send the link.
There you go.
That's the only way. It's almost 20 minutes. Changed our scheduling software too in December too, so